This is Winning Cures Everything. Here's your host, Gary Seegers.
Welcome in. It is Monday, April the 8th. I am your host, Gary Seegers. You can follow me on Twitter at GaryWCE. You can follow the show at Winning Cures, or make it easy on yourself. We got everything over at winningcureseverything.com. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, whatever your favorite podcast app is. Follow us on Facebook. Go over to winningcureseverything.com. It's got everything there. Do us a favor, if you would so kindly. Share out the show. Leave some nice reviews, some nice comments and whatnot. We appreciate you guys jumping in with us. Let's go ahead and talk about what we've got going on today for the Monday, April 8th show. We're going to talk about Final Four reactions. I'm going to give you some picks on Texas Tech and Virginia for the National College Basketball Championship tonight. The UCLA basketball coaching job is a mess. We're going to talk about that. Tommy Tuberville's Senate run. And we're going to close with the Tennessee sports gambling bill. First off, the show is brought to you by mybookie.ag. You use promo code WCE50 when you go sign up. They give you a 50% deposit bonus. It don't get much better than that, right? So, WCE50 is the promo code at mybookie.ag. It's the best online sports book out there. The best lines, all that wonderful stuff. Go check it out for yourself if you don't believe me. mybookie.ag, promo code WCE50. You put in $500, they're going to give you $250 for free. You put in $100, they're going to give you $50, and so on and so on. Go check that out. Let's start off with the Final Four reactions. You guys know, if you have ever watched this show, I enjoyed the outcome on Saturday night. Now, I needed Michigan State and Virginia, right, for my brackets, and I've got several, but I had Texas Tech, I had Michigan State, and I had Virginia, and then I had Kentucky. So I missed on that one. But I got a lot of brackets that have a lot of money tied up and whatnot, so I needed Michigan State. But I'm still doing okay. I need Virginia to win tonight. But that's not what I enjoyed. I enjoyed watching Auburn lose because I am an Alabama fan, and that is what I do. But either way, let's talk about that game for just a minute. You've already heard about it. If you're a college basketball fan, you have already seen all the reaction to it. The only thing I can say is don't blame the referees. We can talk about missed calls and all this all day long if we want to. But look, there are a ton of things that could have happened for this game to go either direction here. Harper, if he had hit both free throws, if they actually call the first foul on Brown before the double dribble, if they called the double dribble, it would have gone the other way. Auburn doesn't foul Ty Jerome and just let him decide to shoot a Hail Mary three. If Dowdy doesn't leave his feet. I mean, that's one of the basic fundamentals that you were taught when somebody is shooting, like, don't leave your feet. Simple enough. So, there's a lot of things that could have happened. Virginia wins 63-62. Virginia plays in the national title game tonight. Texas Tech has been on an absolute tear through this NCAA tournament. Let me give you the KenPom numbers of the teams that these two teams have beaten. Virginia, they have played the number 163, number 32, 28, 9, and 11 place teams at KenPom. Texas Tech, however, 96, 22, and then over the last three, check this out, 6, 2, 3. Texas Tech is doing stuff that has not been done before. It is crazy. Now, tell me if I'm crazy. Leave some comments. I'm watching the comments now. Am I crazy for thinking that this Texas Tech run ends tonight? I have got money down on Virginia -1, and I think the line's actually up to -1.5. I would probably take that right now. But I like Virginia -1. I like Virginia -1.5. I'm taking the over 117.5. The line opened up at 120 and was bet all the way down to 117.5. The under has got over 80% of the money and the tickets on it. I'm going the opposite way. Now, sometimes this doesn't work out in my favor, but I am a big proponent of siding with Vegas. They don't lose money often. These sports books are in the business of making money. I'm going to go that route. That's the way that I would do it. I'm going Virginia -1. I'm going over 117.5. All right, let's move off of that. Let's talk about the UCLA coaching job. The latest report After we've already talked about this with John Calipari, we talked about this with Jamie Dixon, everybody, for the most part, the national media, are saying that it has become a joke, that this coaching search is a joke at this point. UCLA has offered Rick Barnes reportedly $5 million a year, and I think it's over 5 years. It's fully guaranteed, da-da-da-da-da. Barnes has a $5 million buyout. Tell me, what is the difference between paying Jamie Dixon $5 million a year and paying an $8 million buyout as opposed to paying Rick Barnes $5 million a year with a $5 million? It's $3 million. If Dixon is the guy that you wanted, why would you not pay that $8 million buyout? Either way, the people that are saying that Tennessee is a better job than UCLA, it just makes absolutely no sense. Yes, Tennessee has significantly more football money, but that is a football school, period. That's all that is. UCLA is a basketball school. And again, leave in the comments if you think that I'm wrong on this, but UCLA plays in a down conference right now, is in a basketball hotbed for talent. And they need somebody to bring them back. This is a basketball school. It is a significantly better job than Tennessee. That's not to say that Tennessee is a bad job, because it's not. The money stuff, yes, I understand that. $5 million in L.A. is not the same as 3.3 in Knoxville. It's just not the same. But UCLA overall, if you're just looking at it from a basketball perspective, UCLA is a better gig. It just is. So if he's making this for a basketball reason, UCLA would be the play. It is a down Pac-12. They were absolutely awful last year. Anything that UCLA does from this point forward can really only get better because Alford was that bad. They had the one really good year where they made it to the Sweet 16 with Lonzo Ball. Other than that, Alford's tenure, kind of a mess, right? So, there are certain names, if this doesn't go through, you got to get off the bandwagon, quit. If you're going after Mick Cronin, you probably should have done that already. I don't think he would look favorably upon being your fourth or fifth option. I think if you're going mid-major route, you got some guys on the West Coast that are already set up for this. Russell Turner at UC Irvine, the guy knows how to recruit L.A. He knows how to win in California. That guy would be a great pickup. Chris Jans, New Mexico State, another perfect pickup. If I'm UCLA, I'm going those two if Rick Barnes doesn't come along. If Barnes does go to UCLA. If I'm Tennessee, the only person I'm thinking about calling right now is in Johnson City, Tennessee. That's Steve Forbes. Former assistant on Bruce Pearl's staff. You're not going to be able to go and pry Pearl from Auburn right now. Auburn is going to put up mega bucks for this. But if I am Tennessee, I'm calling Steve Forbes. The guy has coached under Greg Marshall, under Bruce Pearl. The guy knows exactly what to do to win. He's a great recruiter. He has proven himself as a good head coach. I'm going that route if I'm Tennessee. Let's talk about Tommy Tuberville's Alabama Senate run. Now, he announced this over the weekend on Twitter. He is running as a GOP member in 2020. Sean Spicer, former White House press secretary, will be part of the campaign team, so you know that this is going to be all over everywhere. CNN, MSNBC, you name it, it's going to be all over the news. One, because Tuberville is famous as being an ex-football coach, and two, because of Sean Spicer. If he's part of this campaign team for real and he's out there in the public eye, that's going to bring a lot of attention to this. Look, he's going for Doug Jones's seat. He's a Democrat in Alabama, which is a red state, who barely beat GOP Roy Moore. Roy Moore has credible accusations against him of preying on underage girls. And this, yes, it was years ago, but that's still wrong. All I'm saying. Either way, Roy Moore still almost won the seat. What are we talking about here? So Tuberville, as a GOP in Alabama, there's a lot of Alabama fans that do still hate him. Alabama football fans that cannot stand him. But the overall majority in the state of Alabama is that Tuberville is likable. He's been gone from the public eye in the state for long enough that he's just kind of like a kooky uncle at this point. So Tuberville, if he is wanting a career in politics, is making the right decision here. I think he will absolutely win the primary, and he will absolutely win the seat in 2020, so long as he does not goof anything up. But we'll see what happens with that. And finally, we'll close on this. The Tennessee Sports Gambling Bill. The vote is tomorrow on Tuesday. If you are voting on this, and the public is not, obviously, but the legislators are. If you are on the floor and you get to vote on this, vote yes. This makes all the sense in the world. There's several sites that are reporting that it's already got bipartisan support, which is great. The legislation could provide an extra $15 million a year in tax revenue. They're not even opening brick-and-mortar stores. They're not opening casinos. They're not opening like a kiosk or anything like that. You pick up your phone and you bet on your phone. And they're going to offer several different licenses, and I don't even remember how many it is. I think it's 10 licenses, $100,000 a piece, something like that, to get registered to be able to accept bets. And when you do that and the state taxes it and whatnot, it becomes insanely popular. If you've got people that are on the border in Mississippi that cannot make it down to Tunica for whatever big game they want to bet on, all they have to do is cross the state line. Download the app, cross the state line, and then that Mississippi money that would normally be going towards sports betting, since Mississippi won't allow mobile gambling, is now going to Tennessee. It's the same thing with the Tennessee lottery. That's all I'm saying. It's the Tennessee lottery all over again. Tennessee has figured out there are people in our state that are driving to other states to gamble on sports. Well, why don't we just make it easier so that they gamble on sports here in the comfort of their own home? It makes it 10 times easier. Now, all the crap that I was talking about on a show like a week or a week and a half ago, where they were bringing up different legislation for no gambling on Sundays, no gambling on holidays or whatever, cut that out. Don't be stupid. Make it easy on yourself. Okay? But Tennessee, absolutely, you guys vote yes if you're watching this. Vote yes to mobile sports gambling. It will absolutely make your state money. It will save you from people crossing the border and going to gamble on sports elsewhere. That's all I'm saying. As always, you can find more about the show over at winningcureseverything.com. Again, you can follow me on Twitter at GaryWCE. You can follow the show at Winning Cures. You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/winningcureseverything. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. We appreciate you guys hanging out today. We're rolling UVA -1 tonight. We're rolling over 117.5. We'll see what happens. If Texas Tech wins, it will not surprise me whatsoever. But I'm rolling that way to go against the public. We'll see you guys again tomorrow.
Thanks for checking out Winning Cures Everything. If you want to keep up with us, hit subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. Visit the website at winningcureseverything.com, or you can like us on Facebook or follow us at Winning Cures, at Gary WCE, or at Chris B. Giannini on Twitter. Share out the show, leave a nice review, and make sure to comment and tweet at us.